Hello viewers, this is Angela Murjani and I hope you've been having a very good day today because I'm here to present an 18th century poet and painter called William Blake who hailed from England. A self-confessed mystic and seer, Blake was a profoundly religious man who had some extraordinary spiritual experiences in his life. Given that he was so deeply religious, it becomes very easy for us to comprehend that the poem A Poison Tree is based on fundamental biblical principles. It appears that the main theme for this poem was inspired by a scripture which is taken from the book of Hebrews, which occurs in the New Testament, and Blake often refers to chapter 12, verses 14 and 15. Now, these scriptures contain an injunction, and this injunction says that every person is responsible for being at peace with all other men. If he is not at peace, if there is anger or resentment in his heart, then the onus is on him to resolve that issue. And if he still insists on holding on to that anger and resentment, then it's going to take a deep root in his heart and become like a tree which gives forth poison, affecting not only his life, but the lives of all the others with whom he is in contact. The speaker in this poem tells us about how on one occasion he was angry with his friend. But he was able to be honest with his friend and discuss that point, and so the air was cleared and all ill feelings disappeared. On the other hand, the speaker tells us that he was also angry with his foe, but this time he did not talk to his foe, but instead he hid his anger and he nurtured that resentment until it became a huge boiling inferno on the inside of him, and it turned into a poisonous thing which brought death to the enemy. Which brings us to the second scripture that was the inspiration for Blake, which is taken from the Gospel of Matthew, the 7th chapter, verses 17 to 20. Now, this scripture says that just like a tree, a man can only be known by his fruit. In other words, when ordinary people like you and me who are not botanists, we look at a tree which has only green leaves and branches but no fruit, we cannot tell what kind of tree it is. However, a botanist might be able to do so. It's the same with people. When we see fruit on the tree, we can recognize the tree. We can say, oh, there's an orange, so this must be an orange tree. Same way, when we look at the evidence in a person's life, are they speaking good things? Are they doing bad deeds? We know their character. So this second scripture tells us that unless we examine the fruit of a person's life, we cannot tell what they are like on the inside. William